All right, so I wanted to bring Kim on this phone call because let me just mute this so I don't do feedback. All right, so I wanted to bring my sister on this phone call. So she started Beachbody right around the same time I did, maybe a month later or so. Not too much longer, but right around the same time. And Kim at that, I'm not going to go into her story. Kim can do that. She tells it a lot better than I can, obviously, but she got into the business. She got into the business of Beachbody, the world of Beachbody, primarily to lose weight, right? Because she's the type of person that if someone says that you can't do something, she's going to do it, even if she doesn't want to do it, probably just to throw it back in your face. So, my cousin and I kind of teamed up against her and told her that she couldn't do a program. And at the time, she was overweight. And, she took it personally, which we knew that she would, and she kicked ass with it. And she's had such a great transformation story that I think that gets your transformation story kind of takes over. What her actual Beachbody business, and her Beachbody business is obviously her transformation story, but it's more than just the transformation story. So, some of us are going to go through transformations and some of them aren't. Like, I was already in decent shape and I didn't have a huge transformation, so I needed to market myself a little bit different, and you guys will find how to market yourself. And so I wanted Kim on the phone call to kind of teach you guys really what we're going to discuss about branding, right, Kim, and how all that works, and how to figure all that stuff out, and so you guys can get comfortable in your own skin talking about whatever it is that you're comfortable talking about, because what I'm comfortable talking about and what Kim comfortably talking about are two totally different things. And she'll tell you that, and I'll tell you that I'm not the best when it comes to nutrition and understanding all this stuff. Kim's really good at that stuff, but I'm good at talking about the business. So we kind of bounce it off each other on a lot of stuff, and it's I think we both benefited pretty well from it. So I'll let her do the talking and tell you her story. So Kim, can you take yourself off mute? You got it. All right, cool.
I'm a pro at this.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to mute you so I don't get reverb. There you go. Hello, ladies, and anybody else who will be watching. So yeah, I'm Mark's sister, and he said it exactly how he said it. So I'm going to give you the short version of my story, and then we'll get into actually what we want to talk about. So April of 2010, it was actually, let's back up 5 months from then. We had like a family picture. I'm a single mom of two boys. And my mom had this brilliant idea that we'd all take Christmas pictures around this chair at her house, and let's be cool, and every little group of family will take their picture. Awesome. Just what we want to do at 250 pounds, take a family picture with your kids that come up to your waist, right? And Santa Claus in the chair. Fantastic. So nonetheless, you're a good sport. You hide behind the chair. You kind of do that thing to see if you can hide most of your body, which I tried. So then she thinks that she's going to print all these out and hand them to everybody. And Mark can probably tell you, remember, she's like, oh, yeah, look at your family pictures. And I swear, I looked at that picture and I was like, oh my God, who is that person? Like, there was no life in my eyes. There was nothing. It was like gone. Like, who is that person? Dark eyes. Didn't really recognize myself. I looked aged. I looked tired. I looked probably 15 to 20 years older than I was. And I sat there and I looked and I said, if I don't do something now about this, not only are my kids not going to have a dad because their father was out of the picture, but their mom is going to die. And that may sound harsh, and that may sound a little, like, whoa, for you to think that. But there really is truth to that. I work in the health industry. I work in a lab. I'm a lab administrator. You know, I know what it means to be overweight. I know the toll that it takes on your body. And I knew that if I didn't change my weight to 250 pounds, the last time I stepped on the scale, that bad things were going to happen to me physically. I was going to deteriorate in health, and, you know, I would eventually be taken from my kids and my family and my parents and my brother and my nieces and my nephews. So I said to myself, all right, that's it. We're going to do something about this. So I brought my elliptical machine up into my bedroom, carried this thing up from the basement. I couldn't even tell you how I got it in there. But I did, all by myself. You know, got it up there, sweat my ass off, and proceeded to work out on that elliptical machine for an hour, like every day for 3 months. Because that's what you do, right? You're supposed to do cardio. Yes. So I did, and I lost like 6 pounds. And then it's like, what the heck? I'm eating well. I'm doing all this stuff. What is going on? And in the back, I got Mark and my cousin Keith starting to call me around like March. We got this awesome product. We want you to talk about it. Come on, they're texting me, calling me. Every time I see them, they're like, can we just talk to you about it? Come on, it'd be really good. Please just try it. And I'm like, oh my God, no, I'm doing my own thing. Let me tell you, girls, I have done Weight Watchers, the cookie diet, the cabbage diet, the soup diet, Nutrisystem, you name the diet, you name it, I have done it. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And I'm a single parent and I don't have $100 a month. I don't do it. I can't do it. I don't get child support. I had every excuse under the sun on why not to do it. And then I will never forget, it was a day in April. It was a Saturday, the 15th. I must have had pancakes or something for breakfast. It must have been good because I was in a good mood and I was sitting at my computer and my phone rings and it's Keith. And he's like, Kim, listen, just give me 5 minutes to talk to you about this. And I'm like, oh my God, fine. And he told me about Shakeology and I'm like, no. And then he said, it has a money back guarantee. And I was like, okay, I'm signing up. Because if I sign up, I'm sending the bag back. I kid you not. I said that to him. I said, fine, I'll sign up, but I'm sending the bag back. Came in like 5 days. Shipping was wicked super fast back then. It's not like it is today. Came in 5 days. Within 6 weeks, I lost like 15 pounds. It used to come with these workouts, the Shakeology workouts, and it has Allie from Turbo Fire in it, and she's in the like little green shorts, and she's seriously, the set is like a white background. It's hilarious, but they were effective. And I lost like 15 pounds in 6 weeks. And then we were sitting around the pool, and I said to Mark, I'm going to do P90X. And so I got Mark on this side and Keith on this side. Mark will probably tell you a different story on how this went down. But this is the way I saw it and the way I remember it. So I'm like, I'm going to do P90X. Now, Mark and me, let's just say we ran around the house chasing each other with forks and knives when we were kids, all right? So that's the kind of relationship we had. And he's like, no, you ain't. And I got Keith on the other side. And he was like, okay, being a little bit softer. And then Mark's like, no, really, Kim, you're going to fail. Sir, I don't want you going backwards. You're doing really good. This is just a bad idea. This is really hard. And Keith is going, no, all right. Well, maybe we should think about this. And so that was it. I was set. I said, screw you both. I'm doing it. So I ordered it. Well, let's cut to the chase. Came in. I never heard what Core Synergistics was. Couldn't even get on the ground. Couldn't do a push-up. You name it, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do 85% of P90X. But you know what? I did it. And on that day, I said to myself, I will never have an excuse that is ever going to get in my way ever again. Ever. And until I got sick about 3 months ago, I can count the number of workouts I missed on one hand in 4.5 years. Because I made the promise to myself that nothing, no one, not my kids, not a spouse, not a boyfriend, not a family member, not my parents, not friends, nobody would ever get in my way ever again. And I made that promise to myself. And I did it. And I lost, with 3 rounds of P90X, I lost about 80 pounds. And then everything came after that. Insanity, Turbo Fire, Chalene Extreme, and then Body Beast came in December of 2012. And that's when things like really shifted for me as far as my physical transformation. Prior to that, in October 2011, I was graced with the awesome opportunity to be on Dr. Oz with Tony Horton. And that just blew things up as far as my social media was concerned. And we're going to talk about how I handled that, because you have to be ready to handle how you're going to brand yourself on social media or you'll get lost. So I have lips on the window, like blowing me kisses. So nonetheless, I got overwhelmed with social media when Tony and I went on Dr. Oz, and it was awesome. But then I set my goals so high physically, and I said, you know what? I want to do something that nobody else has done. And we'll talk about this too. And I'm going to make it public. I am going to become one of the first fitness competitors to ever walk across the stage, losing over 100 pounds naturally. No surgery, no cosmetic surgeries, nothing. And I promised myself that. And then in April 2012, I set the goal for 2 years. And Body Beast became my program in December of 2012. And April 12th, 2014, I stepped across the stage as a fitness competitor. And it was incredible. I weighed in at about 138 pounds, 11% body fat, and was completely shredded. And it was awesome. And that day was huge for me because I didn't do it just for myself. I did it for everybody who's ever been lost or depressed or has felt like they're alone or has felt like giving up on themselves. Because let me tell you, I've been through it all. I've seen my son try to take his life twice. I've seen him go in and out of mental hospitals. I've seen him in full lockdown wards. I've seen him lifeless on a stretcher, strapped down. I've seen him run across a parking lot and fight off 2 cops. I've seen him tell a police officer that he's not afraid of him and go ahead, try to shoot him at 7 years old. I've drank myself into oblivion and tried to drown myself in a bathtub. I've seen it, but you come to a point when you have to realize that your life is worth it. And then when you get that, you got to really, really just hold on to it and write it everywhere. And even if you don't believe it, put it on sticky notes on your walls, put it on your mirrors, put it in your fridge. I had it in my freaking pantry on food I wasn't supposed to eat, that I am worth it. And even though I didn't believe it at that one moment in time, the more I read it, the more I believed it. So you are worth it. That's my story. And now let's go talk about what we're going to talk about. So branding yourself. This is huge. If you want to be successful in this business, you can do this completely from online. And the most successful people in the business do. Lindsay Matway, Josh Spencer, all top coaches. They're all successful online, social media. Yes, they do their appearances at their Super Saturdays and they meet with their coaches and whatnot. But if you look at them, the Janelle Summers, they have this following on social media that they're hitting Success Club with people that they don't even know because they built up their brand so much. People just want to be on their team. They're like, oh my gosh, I love what this person brings to the table. I want to be on their team. Well, how do you do that? Well, first of all, you have to remember that your social media platform has nothing to do with you. Your social media platform has everything to do with your customer or your potential coaches or your potential rock stars. That's what your platform is about. You want to make sure that you have 3 to 5 things on your platform that you want people to know about you, that what is going to gravitate those people towards you. Now, I ask people this all the time, and this is going to be part of your whole stepping stone of learning how to brand yourself. When you hear the word Kim Parker, the name Kim Parker, what do you think about? And I will tell you what the people will say to me immediately. They will say nutrition, fitness, Body Beast. They will also say your kids, your dog, and many people will say never give up attitude. All right. So you notice how there's a little bit of business in there, but then there's also a little bit of personal. And that is really important because if you don't have balance, people are going to get pissed off at you, they're going to block you, and they're going to hate you. And trust me, when we first started this business nearly 5 years ago, you have to remember that Keith Callahan, I'm sure you guys all know who he is, right? Yes? Do you know who he is? Okay, do you know who Nicole Jones is? Yes? You now know who I am, and you know who Mark is. Well, guess what? We all grew up next to each other. And we all signed up within 3 months of each other. So guess what we did? We threw up Beachbody for like 6 months and pretty much got blocked by the entire southeastern community of Norton, Taunton, Mansfield, Attleboro, South Attleboro, because that's all we talked about. And people were like, oh my God, these 2, 3, 4 ever shut up? No, we didn't. So we all learned the hard way that, oh shoot, maybe we need to back off a little bit. So make a list of the 3 to 5 things that you want your audience to know and what is going to gravitate towards them. Remember, it's about them, the type of people you want to attract. All right, so you want to think about that. You want to make sure that when you do this, you have balance. So make out a schedule. I know Mark has a whiteboard that says what he's going to post, and I don't know if he's talked to you guys about this yet, on each and every day. Now you want to make sure that you're minimally posting 3 to 5 posts per day. Peak hours are 7 to 9 a.m., 12 to 2, and then in the evening it varies. You know, it's like 6 to 8 or 6 to 9, really depending upon where your audience is. If you have a younger audience, that's going to bump up a little bit from 7 to 10. If you have an audience where you're targeting, you know, single moms or moms in general, parents, that bumps down a little bit because when are they on Facebook? They're on Facebook when they get home from work or when they're getting kids ready for bed, or, you know, they're in the bathroom watching them kids on the tub and they're on the phone so that they don't drown. You know what I mean? Like those type of things. So you got to think about your audience and who you're targeting, and then create a schedule for yourself. So you want to make sure you're posting about the business, Shakeology, whatever workout you're doing, and then some other things. You want to post about your life, your common interests, or things that excite you. And you want to be positive about all of this. So here comes the 3 C's to your post. You want to make sure you have clarity. Don't sugarcoat shit. Be real. Okay? Don't beat around the bush. Because really, honestly, nobody likes it. They say that they do, but they don't. If anybody wants to be successful in this business, the people that you want to find in this business are not the people that you want beating around the bush. Because what's going to happen with those people is you're going to do this, and you're going to follow them in circles and circles. Yeah, we want to do it. We want to do it. We want to do it. Yeah, I'm ready to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And you sit there and you beat around the bush. So don't beat around the bush. Be the leader that you want those people to be, right? Set the example. Set the bar high. You also want to have consistency. So there's your 3 to 5 posts, all right? And then you also want to be constant. So don't ever walk away from Facebook one day and say, you know what? I need a break for a couple days. That's not going to work because your audience is going to go down like that. All right? Even if you have nothing to say, Google is the greatest thing under the sun. Google motivational quotes and take something. Get a picture. You know what I mean? Do something. And with all of that, within those 3 to 5 posts, you want to make sure that you're posting in various different ways. Whether or not you have, like I said, quotes, whether or not you have pictures, videos, you want to make sure that you're bringing in your real life. Now, the most popular thing on Facebook these days are, you know, pictures of your food, pictures of your kids, if that's something that you want to involve, of your dog. Everybody loves dogs. Not so much cats, but everybody loves dogs, right? So post pictures of your dogs. I mean, if you look at some posts, I scour people's pages, and I'm very observant to what people like. When you say the word Mark Parker, and you want me to describe what Mark Parker's page is all about, and we'll go from where Mark has gone in the past 3 months, because that's really when he started, you know, focusing on his business, or maybe 3 to 4 months. His Facebook page has changed completely. Now you'll notice that when I think of Mark, I think of a father. I think of someone who has nailed his food prep down. I think of someone who is very real, honest, in your face, and is going to tell you how it is. I like that in a person. He's also going to show you his soft side with his pet or pets that are staying at his house. He gets all snuggled up on the couch with him, right? And he's also going to show you the love for the business, in that he's an entrepreneur and he wants to truly help people, right? And in those 4 months, you'll notice that Mark has become vulnerable in a lot of his posts. He's done things that he wouldn't normally say. He's exposed areas in his life that previously he would be reserved to doing. And if you notice, those are the posts that are gathering most attention, right? And why is that? It's because he's developing a relationship with the people on the other side, with his audience, with his coaches, with his potential customers. He's letting them know that, listen, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. I go through tough things too. You know, yeah, I'm a happy-go-lucky person all the time, but you know what? I find the good in things. So he's portraying and letting people know that I'm going to let you in so that you can learn to trust me. And this is all part of your branding. Because if you don't develop that relationship with people, they will never, ever, ever trust you with their health. They won't. Why would they trust you with, you know, I really struggle at around 9 o'clock at night. I open the bag of chips and I can't stop. That's embarrassing for a lot of people. I know at 250 pounds, this was my biggest thing. And I was such in denial. Vanilla wafers, you know, those cookies, they're really, really good. I didn't have a cookie problem because I went to the cabinet. I would get 3 of them. I'd bring them to the couch. I'd eat the 3 of them. I'd open them up, lick them, put it back together, eat them. And then I'd go back to the cabinet and get 3 to 4 more, go back to the couch. But I didn't have a problem because I never took the bag to the couch. What is that? That's denial. But if I don't trust you, would I ever tell you that? I wouldn't. I would never, ever, ever. Oh shit, we only have 10 minutes. Ooh, I gotta move fast. I have unlimited Zoom. So, all right, so you get it. Overposting, like I said, don't overpost. Your post should not all be about Shakeology. People will block you fast. Your post should not all be about your workouts. Make sure it's a good mix. Get out that whiteboard, make a schedule. It makes it easier for you. What happens right this second does not need to be your post for right this second. Write it down. Do you think that all the conversations that I post with my kids happen at that moment? No. Some of them are like a week old. But I make sure that I save those posts for important times, because the way Facebook works, the more likes, the more clicks you get, the more it's going to pop up in the newsfeed the next time. So you better bet your ass when I get 300 likes on a picture, my next post is kick-ass. And it's something about the business and about the business opportunity. See where that goes? Got it? Don't underpost. People actually have to know what you're doing, right? So don't be like, oh yeah, they'll figure it out that I work for Beachbody. And no, they won't. You got to tell them, okay? Don't be embarrassed at what you're doing. People are, oh, I don't know what to say. I'm a little concerned. You know, I'm afraid of what they'll think. Really? Do you think they're going to be afraid of what you think when you hit Millionaires Club 5 years down the road? Do you think they're afraid of what you're going to think when you're bringing home $1,500 a week? Whatever, dude. You don't pay my bills. I don't care. See? Careless posts. Careless posts. If you're checking into OBGYN, think about it. I mean, really, don't do careless posts. If you're at McDonald's picking up a Happy Meal for your kids, that's cool. And trust me, my kids still get McDonald's every now and then. Life is real. It is. But don't check into McDonald's. Just don't do it. I mean, you gotta think about this stuff. I see it sometimes on people's pages. I'm like, oh my God, did she seriously just do that? Ugh. You know, I'm cool with being real about, oh damn, I just went to Cold Stone and ordered the peanut butter cup perfection ice cream. It is what it is. Every now and then. But think about it. Focus on your long-term goals. If your long-term goal is to become part of the Millionaire Club, make it public. I will become part of the Millionaire Club, and I want your ass on this journey with me. Are you ready to come or are you not? If you're not ready, peace out, homie. Next. You know, so make it known. I made it known that I was going to step across that stage 2 years in advance. I talked about it. All of my fitness posts were related to Fitness Atlantic. You know what that did? It created this awesome momentum. It created this gathering of people. And that day that I stepped on that page, my Facebook page exploded. And I had over 1,500 friend requests in 48 hours. Exploded. Because I promoted Fitness Atlantic, and then they promoted me back, put me on their page, and I got over 8,000 likes on one single picture. And that was all for 2 years of branding. See what I mean? So long-term goal. Don't be afraid to actually meet people. You may have met them on social media, but don't be afraid to pick up the phone and be like, hey, let's talk. You'll be okay. You're not going to get abducted over a phone call. And you can actually go to Panera and meet them in person. It's all right. We become the society that's afraid to talk to people, and we hide behind this. I'm grabbing my screen. We hide behind the screen, and we forget that, oh shit, like I can actually like look at you and talk face to face. You're not going to melt. Like you're not going to disappear. It's all right. And people will actually have respect for you if you say, hey, here's my phone number. Like, why are we afraid to hand out a phone number? That's what we used to do in class, right? Pass a little note, here's my phone number. Please. 911 is still available, all right? Hey, get over it. If this is your business, you're going to have to get over this paranoia that you have for today's paranoid people. Next. Multiple network sites. If you have multiple network sites, do not make your profile picture the same for all, because then how is anybody going to distinguish it? You want to make sure that when somebody sees your profile pics, immediately they think of your story, and they think about your why, and they think about your purpose, which is the 3 to 5 things that we talked about earlier. Your purpose, right? So you want to make sure that that comes across in your profile picture. So if you're a Beachbody coach, you might not want to have a picture of your dog as your profile picture. Not smart at all. Because what are you showing? Not you. Who's going to recognize you? Who's going to Super Saturday on Saturday, and are they going to recognize you? I'm going. I know that when I go to Super Saturday, I do this. I couldn't tell you 98% of the people that I talk to at Super Saturday because I have no idea who they are. But they know who I am because I'm all over their newsfeed. My profile picture changes frequently. I'm constantly, interacting with them. And a big thing about interacting with people on your profile or on your timeline, don't respond immediately. If someone writes something, don't be like, oh my gosh, they commented. Yay. Chill out. Give it an hour. The reason why is because if you give it an hour, it's going to pop back up in the newsfeed, and then other people are going to see it. Got it? 4 minutes. All right, I'm going. Oh yeah, and this is a big one. This actually is one of my last things. Get feedback. Ask people around you. Like I ask Mark all the time. When you read what do you get off my Facebook page? And I will never forget the time I said, what do you get off my Facebook page, Mark? This is about 6 months ago. And he said, well, Kim, there's a lot of stuff on there that and he was sweet about it. There's a lot of stuff out there that you share that, I necessarily wouldn't share. A lot of personal things that I don't think that people need to know. And it's funny because I read a post of Mark's the other day and I said, wow, sounds a lot like my posts. He's becoming more personal. But we target different audiences. And he knows that, and I know that. But you want to get feedback from people, not so you get their opinion of what they think about your page, but rather what you are portraying on your page, right? To make sure that you are branding yourself, you're getting across your purpose, and your 3 to 5 things that you want your audience to relate to you by. Remember, this is about them, not about you. Does that all make sense? Feedback, feedback, feedback. All right, I'm going to unmute you guys. Do you have questions? We have 2 minutes. Nobody? Really?
Am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Do we have enough time for a question?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got 2 minutes.
Hurry up.
I don't have a question. That was awesome. I'm all fired up right now. I got to go do my workout. I haven't done it yet, so that was great. That was that's like taking EE before my workout. No, I don't have much, but I think, branding, it took me a while to figure out what exactly I'm all about, and I'm still retuning it. And my message is a little bit different than Kim's, and yours will be different than mine, and Kim DeLessier's, yours will be different than Kerry's, and everything. There is no right or wrong way to do it at the end of the day. But it's got to be genuine, and I think if you can portray that you're a genuine person, I think that's really all that you have to do, in my opinion. And then sometimes, you do have to ask, but that's more advanced stuff as we progress. So that's all I got. Kim, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yep, I'll close you out. I'll probably get cut off with a minute under. I always do. Mark, mute yourself.
All right.
I just want to say that be real, because people will see through you. Don't be afraid to get vulnerable. Don't be afraid to get emotional. Don't be afraid to share things. I'm going through a really hard time right now. I was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease. And you know what? That has given me a new platform for when I get back to working out again. I'm going to have a whole new slew of people that are going to be following that journey now. So not only did they follow me to the stage to Fitness Atlantic, but now they're going to be following me on my road back. My road back to wellness, because I am going to get there, and I'm going to kick this disease's ass. And, that's what you have to let people know. You have to let people know that you're a fighter, and you're going to fight for yourself, and you're going to fight for them, and you care about them